if I want to make a change in my own personal life, I need to see who I am and what kind of vision that I have. And then I would see as well my belief system about my relationship to God Himself, my relationship to myself, like my self-image. Maybe I would feel loved, or I would feel valuable, or I feel unworthy, or I feel worthy, or what kind of feelings that I would have. And that's why changing my thoughts towards a good image of the divinity and good image about myself as well, that makes the change that is happening in my life. And that means that thoughts are very important. Experience is one of the most important things that would feed these thoughts in me. In the beginning, Christianity started as an experience. The disciples around Jesus, they had a certain kind of experience with Him. And this experience, it made an impact in their life. It made an impact on the society. It made a change how they see things. They were able to see something beyond what they have learned. They were able to open up in the society, and instead of condemning others, they start to open up and see what that means that Jesus is talking about Samaritans, what that means that Jesus is talking about the Romans, what that means that when He is talking about God loves the whole world. So they start to open up and see that what they believed in, that we are the chosen people. Now they start to have an experience that God is actually loves the whole world. And that's why Jesus, their mentor, their teacher, is opening up to meet Samaritans and to praise them, and to meet Romans and praise them, and is talking about the love of God for the whole world. And now their life is changed, not only through a teaching, but through an experience. And that's why the thoughts are very much linked with an experience they lived. And that's how we need to deal with our thoughts, put it to experience. If I would talk about prayer, if I would listen to hundreds of sermons about prayers, if I don't experience it, I would go in the prayers and feel it, so it feels mine. At the same time, when Jesus was with His disciples, He gave them this experience. How to deal with ordinances, how to deal with the Sabbath, the commandments of God, watch the Sabbath. And people sometimes became too rigid in implementing things. So here the disciples experienced how Jesus dealt with the Sabbath, how Jesus dealt with these commandments or ordinances that we live in. Then He started to open up and see that humanity is much more than just only be framed into an ordinances. We have to go to the depths of it. He didn't take it away all, but He just wanted us to see that the depths of it is much more important for us. And then sometimes, for the sake of a person, a human being, He would heal them in a Sabbath. And there were many miracles that He did in a Sabbath. Deliberately, He did it there. And that's why we need to understand about the concept of sacracy. For example, an experience of secrecy. It's not connected only to a place. The secrecy is inside the person. And that's why Jesus moved this concept from the secrecy of a place to the secrecy of human beings, to the heart of a person. And that's why I feel like if I were at the time of Jesus and I would hear him talking about this, and if I were a strong Jewish believer and a Pharisee or a scribe or one of the priests, how would I accept those things? That's why crucify him. That's what they did, because they couldn't. And I was asking myself, imagine if I were at that time and Pontius Pilate is asking me straight, which one would you like to set free? Barabbas, who was a thief and a robber, or Jesus? I'm afraid of myself, actually. If I were very strong in this kind of ordinances and the nation-wise and the race and the concept of it's mine, then I might be at that time and take the wrong decision asking for a Barabbas, because Barabbas is not dangerous. Barabbas will not change the world. Barabbas is only just a thief and a robber, and he will take his judgment and he will steal some people. But Jesus will change the world. And that's why when thoughts are connected to the behavior, it may change your life. And this is here why a lot of people were puzzled about Christ himself. He made a change in the life of people, and some others, they were too afraid because they didn't want to make a change in their life. But Jesus wants to make a change in your life. And that's what it means, that when you connect the principles of the Bible, the thoughts that's giving to you, and bring it in an experience, and then you are able to make a change in your life. And here we could say, like, the impact of the life of experience. Sometimes when we are trying to connect philosophy and experience, it could give it a dimension and something good if we still keep the experience the leading force. But if we only talk about philosophy and become empty of experience, then it becomes only big words. That's why when St. Paul is talking about his mission, he's not talking about the philosophy of the Greek, but he's talking about his own experience, the power of God in him. When the experience were taken and put into an institution, and then we need to deal with the law of institutions. And sometimes the experience is lost in there. And sometimes institutions will form a kind of setup to help you to get this experience. So it depends on how you deal with that. Of course, we have to create those kind of institutions, but still, we cannot look at Christianity as only an institution or a philosophy. Christianity is an experience, is a personal experience with God himself, is a personal experience with Christ. And that means that wherever we are exposed to, whether we are exposed to a beautiful philosophical talks, we still need to keep experience, personal experience of faith. We need to keep our personal experience of faith wherever we go, and we may use this or that we respect them, we implement them in our lives, but we are not to leave or to let go our personal experience of faith. And that's the most important thing. It will only be lifted up through your own personal faith experience.